Hi folks, and welcome back. We are in a greenhouse, but unfortunately it is not the new greenhouse, and today is another greenhouse update. This is completely unnecessary, okay, but after the comments from the last one where lots of people were suggesting that actually polycarbonate isn't a good idea, which is what I originally said, okay? Originally I didn't want to go for polycarbonate, but just because I found some free stuff, I thought, you know what, I'll bash it in. And a lot of people made a really good point about the fact that I don't know which way round the UV stable side of that polycarbonate is, which means it's probably not going to last long. That's sort of one reason. The other is I just kind of fancied a challenge. Now, the thing is, this greenhouse build has been ridiculous. It has been frustrating, but I am loving it, okay? I'm loving every second, almost. I'm having a really fun time with it. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give it a go cutting glass. As people say, there's always loads of 2 foot by 2 foot glass panels just going for free. And it just so happens one of our plot neighbours recently has left their plot. They have a greenhouse on the plot, which is just, it's kaput, you know, it's foobar. It's not okay, and they've got loads of spare glass that they said I could have, so we're gonna give it a go, because why not? You can see here, I've laid out one of the 2 foot by 2 foot panes. I've got one that is the correct size on top of it, and I've measured both sides, so I'm not gonna get it wrong like I did when I was cutting the polycarbonate. And we're gonna give this a go. I've got it on a slightly kind of spongy piece of kind of fibre wood, MDF, that kind of stuff. It's measured out. Let's see if we can actually score this and get it to break nice and cleanly. Always remembering gloves, obviously. There are lots and lots of people on YouTube who make this look very easy, and I have been advised that using these glass cutters on second-hand glass often just doesn't work. The glass kind of ages. In an earlier video I said it turns brittle. That is not correct, but it does age, and once it's weathered a little bit, the glass just isn't as easy to cut. And this glass cutter that I got, I think there's a lot of options, okay? And I've just realized I thought it came with oil. It does not. So we're gonna give it a dry run. This is one of the kind of the mid-ranger options. You can get these for about £5. This one cost about 13, something like this. And this is basically the cutting point. It's like a tiny, tiny rotary head. It is absolutely minuscule. And the idea is, you get a nice straight line. I've got this, which doesn't actually run the length. This is almost definitely not ideal, but I've got a bit of perspex, and hopefully there'll be enough room to get the cutter on here. And apparently, one score is best, and it's got a line on it, so you can't really get the angle wrong. And the idea is, once you've got your score, the best thing to do is to put something underneath the score, and then you just press ever so gently and it should pop right off. Just propped a little piece of wood underneath, and I'm just going to apply gentle pressure towards the middle of the score. And if it doesn't go, like it's not, I don't want to force it, so I'm going to flip it over and score on the other side. Ever such a small crack up here has formed going inwards, which is not ideal. I'm going to try and crack it anyway, see what happens, just for the experience. Okay, well, we'll chalk that one up to experience and try again. So I've just attempted my second cut. My camera isn't really playing ball today. This one looks a little better. You can see a part has come off here, but this part a little more stubborn. We have 1/2 of a clean cut. This piece is, oh, so close. Just one tiny little shard. So it turns out the glass does cut. It is doable. Look at this lovely straight edge I've just got. This is still a slight issue, but it turns out popping a bamboo cane underneath gives you the perfect amount of leverage to then just gently pop it. I'm afraid I have tried to film this, but my camera and my gimbal just aren't working for me today. They're not having it, so I'm going to try a few more of these and let you know how it goes. Wish me luck. So I've just done the second cut on the second pane. And look at that. Absolutely perfect straight cut. I am over the moon. This is going so much better than I thought it might. This is really good. Some time has passed. I really wish I could film this, but like I say, unfortunately, I just can't get the camera set up properly. But I think at the start I was being a bit too timid, but now it's got to the point where I've really got the knack of it. I just do one score and pop it. It just goes, it's just working. I can't actually believe it. I'm really, really happy. So the issue is we've got lots of funny shapes. I can't just do all of these glass panes the same size because I haven't quite got enough, and some of the ones that we've got in there mismatch. So I've got to do 4 of the standard size, and then I've got to figure out a custom cut for the top piece, and we'll see how that goes. Now folks, this is a bit of a moment of truth. I'm trying to do one of the corner pieces, and I have polycarbonate, and I was thinking, you know, maybe I would just leave the polycarbonate in for the corner pieces because otherwise it might be quite difficult. But I've got the glass, I figured I'd give it a go. The existing ones that I've got for the corners are actually rubbish. The ones that came with the greenhouse don't quite fit, so that's been a bit frustrating. And so I've had to measure this completely by hand, you know, so if my measurements are off, then this won't work. Wish me luck. Look at that. Thankfully, it is perfect. If I hold this up, it's much better than this polycarbonate, much tighter fit. And what I'm going to do now is take out this polycarbonate and do a complete measurement of the whole bay and figure out what size is missing, because there'll be a little bit just across here that we need. So just to explain what's going on here a little bit, because it is quite confusing. Normally this panel would have, or this kind of bay would have 3 standard size panes that were all the same size, and then your weird triangle bit. This bit is the wrong piece. But a while back I managed to get 4 pieces of glass, well 3, and I've cut one today. 4 pieces of glass at this size. They're too long, they're too tall, but they're the right width. So that means I need less glass in total, which is great, but it is awkward now because I need a piece here which is around 30 centimeters by 51. So I'm gonna cut one of those, make sure it's right, and then hopefully I can copy this around all of the other bays, because like I say, I've got a long piece that's going to go on the bottom of each of them. If I had all the glass, I would probably just keep these as spares for elsewhere and cut all of these so they were the same size, because that would make life much easier. And in fact, now that I've said that, I am going to count the glass and double check that that is not the case, because if I've got enough to do that, that will just make life so much easier. And in the future, it means I've got some spare glass, which is this size, which I think goes in the roof and a few other places. Now, I was just about to start thinking about alternative solutions, and I thought, what if I put 2 of the long ones next to each other and see how much gap there is? And then I found this offcut from one of the pieces I've cut today and thought, hang on a minute, this looks like it might be the perfect size. If this works, I will just be gobsmacked. To my eye, it looks really good from where I'm standing. Let's pop this in, and then we'll get the triangle on top. Let me just get 2 more clips. Honestly, if this works, I'll be so shocked. And it'll make life easier, because then I can do this again. I've got another offcut the same size as this. And then the rest of the other 2 panes that I need to do can all just be the standard size, and I can have 3 of them. Come on. Oh, it's just a little, oh, it sort of slots up and down. Oh, it's perfect. I just can't believe how snug this is. It's just gone together perfectly. Just with that offcut, you can see that line on the triangular corner piece. I thought I was going to butcher it, to be honest. After, you know, you've seen my reputation with measurements. I got the base absolutely centimetre perfect, and then obviously not so great on the polycarbonate in the last episode. But there's lots more glass for me to cut, and hopefully I can give you a bit of an update when most of it is done. One other cool thing that I didn't actually mention, that corner piece was cut from here, which is that piece that I broke at the start. So I've actually managed to recycle it and use it, which I'm really glad because I did feel quite guilty, and you can see here are the offcuts. And this one is the one that is pretty much exactly the same size as the one that I've just put in to fill that gap. So I said I was going to start cutting, but actually I'm just going to double count. No, I'm just going to, you know, like double check, make sure I've got all the glass I need. You can see these three have just gone in really nicely, and that's a good example of what I was talking about earlier. 3 panes are all the same size and they go in quite nicely. You might have noticed at the back as well, those 2 bays have been done now. What we need, in theory, is 3 more pieces of glass for that back one there, and then only need 0 for this one here. Actually, wait a minute, is that right? Yeah, because I've got a long one down there that I can pull out, put that in the middle, use a little one for the gap like I've done just literally here, and then wait a minute, I think I've got too much glass. Can you imagine if I do this? Ends up I've actually got too much glass. So I only need 3 panes. I've got 1 in the greenhouse that I've already cut. Let's go back over here. You can see where I've laid out all the glass. I can see it from here. I've definitely got too much glass. So these are the panes. Oh wait, no, I've just remembered, yes. There are other bays that need doing as well. So here, these are piles of 3, which is really easy for counting. So I've got 3, 6, double check, I say they're piles of 3. Yeah, you can see there, piles of 3. And then that one is an extra. So I've got 7. And so I just need 1 more. When I said that I forgot the bays, there is in fact 1 here and 1 on the opposite side as well that I'd forgotten about. So there's 6 that we need, and then we just need 2 extras for the back there. No, 1 extra, just 1 extra for the back there. You can see, this is why I thought it would be a good idea for me to double check how many I needed. So just 1 more, I can't believe it. It is just crazy, once you've got the hang of this, how satisfying it is when it pops. So clean. Those cuts went just as well as the rest. To be honest, apart from the first one, I cannot believe how well this has gone. I've got the 2 pieces here, the one over by the trees that I just showed you, and hopefully this panel will come together as nicely as that one. I said hopefully it will go well, and to be honest, it's gone better than I could have imagined. The 2 front bays have gone together perfectly. Every cut I've done has just worked out. You know, I've got these little offcuts, just so happened to plug the gap. It's felt really quite lucky. I can't believe it's come together. Honestly, I thought today I would come up, try to cut the glass, fail miserably, and not even post a video. I didn't think there was going to be any progress today, so I didn't think there was going to be an update, and I am over the moon. I cannot believe how well it's gone. We're still not quite there. I would love to finish this thing off today and absolutely get it all glazed in its entirety, but I'm starting to lose the light. It's my birthday very soon, and for my birthday treat, I'm gonna spend it on the greenhouse. I'm gonna get the greenhouse finished. That's my birthday promise to myself. So if you've joined me on this journey, this greenhouse saga, thank you ever so much for watching. I really hope it's been entertaining. You know, I've just been showing everything that's gone right, everything that's gone wrong, a real kind of warts and all build. If you've only seen a couple of the latest episodes, I'll leave the playlist at the end of this video so you can watch all of those greenhouse build videos. There's so many because it's taken so long and so many things have kind of changed as I've changed my mind. But if you do check that out, thank you very much. An extra special thank you to my Chili Pepper tier patrons. You can check out the Patreon in the description below. All the links are down there. There's all sorts of bonuses if you're on Patreon. Lots of behind the scenes things. I've been posting an occasional thing about this greenhouse as well, which has been quite entertaining. It's been a wonderful journey, this greenhouse actually. It's been highs and lows. There's been some times where I've been really frustrated with it, but towards the end I feel like it's picked back up. And I've really actually started to enjoy the process. All this stuff with the polycarbonate and cutting the glass myself as well feels really special. I feel like I'm always going to look at this greenhouse and remember when I dared to try actually cutting the glass. It's not that big a deal, but it feels like a really big deal to me because, like I say, I just expected it to all go very wrong. So once again, thank you ever so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.